So if you could just please introduce yourself and tell us who you're with.
Hi, I'm Mike Robbins. I'm a gameplay engineer with Gas Powered Games.
Okay. And can you tell us which titles you've worked on?
I started working on Demigod at the beginning, and that was just for post-release support, DLC, stuff like that. And then I was on the last 6 months of the Spring Commander 2 project, and more recently I'm working on Age of Empires Online.
Okay. Can you give an example from one of those projects where Game AI was able to improve the game? And
Spring Commander 2 was a great example of that. When it shipped, the AI was completely and utterly broken. I was brought in after our AI engineer left the project, and to fix, basically fix up the AI. And the AI used a neural network system for its fight-or-flight mechanics for its AI-controlled platoons, and that system was broken when I got on the project, and I had to go through and fix it, and learned a lot about neural networks, how they work, how they're effective, and it was really an interesting project.
Okay. So how did you find yourself doing Game AI? What was your path into the game industry?
My path was actually not a traditional path. I don't have a college degree. I didn't go through that whole path. I started modding the AI for the original Spring Commander and the Forged Alliance expansion pack that went along with it, and that got the attention of the guys at Gas Powered Games. The AI designer that was on those two projects messaged me and asked me to submit my resume, and it went from there. I got an interview and finally started working for him.
That's really cool. I'm guessing that there's a lot of on-the-job learning that goes on with artificial intelligence.
Yeah, because when I got to GPG, I didn't know C++. Like, I had never programmed in C++. All I'd done is like the Lua scripting language and like some basic, actual basic programming, the language in high school. So yeah, there was a lot of on-the-job learning, but within a couple of weeks I was up to speed on their game engine, and I was making check-ins into their source code branch.
That's really cool. How about sort of traditional computer science, math? You've taught yourself those elements?
I did. In high school, like I said, I took a couple of programming courses. One that was basic, and then it was Visual Basic the following year. But since then, it's all been self-taught, updating World of Warcraft mods that, authors had abandoned, creating my own, and then, working on the AI mod.
So you still keep doing the mod stuff?
Actually, that's kind of fallen to the wayside.
Oh, okay.
Because my programming itch is scratched at work now, so it's not like my driving force for a hobby anymore. So I still do my own side projects. So I've got a project that I'm going to be working on, but it's not game related. So
probably healthy too,
yeah.
I would say. So what would you say is the most important thing that game educators need to know about game AI versus academic AI, and where are we getting it wrong?
Well, in academic, you can do pretty much whatever you want. You're not constrained by resources. You don't have a producer telling you that you've only got 2% of the CPU cycle in order to actually do any sort of AI logic. In academia, you can do whatever you want. You can use these big supercomputers to do whatever kind of cool stuff that you want to do, which is really awesome, and I'm really into, and I like seeing, but it doesn't translate into a game because we don't have that kind of resource.
So what would be something that we should be focusing on instead of maybe, your project used neural nets, but not like broad distributed.
Not like your guys's,
Right.
Not like distributed neural networks. It was for neural networks, it was a small neural network. We had 15 inputs, 98 hidden nodes, and then 34 inputs, 15 outputs. So, that's a really, as far as academic neural nets, that's a really small neural network. You guys are working with stuff that is way larger than that.
Okay. So areas beyond neural networks, what should we be focusing on too?
That's a great question. For AI,
things our students should see or know, that they're going to see in industry.
That's a good question. Honestly,
okay.
I don't know. I really don't know where the focus needs to go. There's so many areas that we can improve AI with, from like what Dave was talking about with facial expressions and eye movements, and really getting a real sense of character to the AI, to things like path planning, footstep planning. There's so many different facets of AI that if we could do more research into and actually have something applicable to games out of, that we could be doing way cooler stuff.
Okay. So this is your chance. If you were looking at a resume coming in, or if there's, what would you be looking for from a student portfolio? Or
Honestly, it's not so much about the resume I found.
Right.
The resume isn't the big thing. The resume is only really good if you have other game-related jobs on it or other projects
Right.
that you've worked on, other ship titles. What I hear from industry veterans, and basically the way that I got in, is demo, demo, demo. If you can make a running game, it doesn't even have to look pretty, but as long as you can show some solid gameplay, show that you know how to start and finish a project and make something that actually works, that's going to be a whole lot more beneficial than having a really nice looking resume.
Okay, but make sure that the demo is complete. Then.
Right.
It's
yeah,
not enough to just have an idea.
It's not really. Yeah, it's not really about the project or what you did. It's more about the fact that you actually sat down and did it and actually went all the way to the end. Because a lot of people will say they're going to start a project, they start working on it, do something kind of neat, but then it doesn't actually turn into anything. They don't actually finish. And
Okay.
that's what the industry is looking for, is people who are willing to go through it and finish a project.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.